guys, give me strength. I will say discussing this movie is far more interesting than actually watching it, and that is incredibly sad. Nevertheless, let us get into today's review, which is on Supercon, and I will be reviewing this while I wear my fabulous brand new Nightmare Before Christmas Jack Skellington cardigan, jacket, sweater, I don't know, pick a word, but that's what we're doing, huh? Supercon is a 2018 comedy film directed by Zach Knutson and written by Knutson, Andy Sipes, and Dana Snyder. It follows a ragtag group of former TV stars and comic book artists who make their living working at conventions, deciding to steal the loot from a crooked promoter and an overbearing former TV icon. This was a bland, lackluster production. It is customary that stories come with a beginning, middle, and end. Well, this has the hint of a middle and a mild end, but absolutely no beginning. It jumps straight in without ever introducing its characters or setting up the story, not that there is much of one anyway. There is no character development, there isn't even any plot growth. The characters are exactly the same at the end of the film as they were in the beginning, just a bit more confident due to their larger wallets. This movie could put you off ever wanting to go to a convention if you've never been to one. It depicts all convention goers as losers who do nothing but antagonize and mock the celebrity guests, while the person running the convention also assists in the mocking of his own guests while he pockets their earnings. It also depicts a special guest celebrity who is still riding his fame from an 80s TV show and acting like he's God's gift while he insults patrons, assaults fellow guests, and molests every woman who comes near him. It was somewhat nauseating to watch. The dialogue is the most horrendous aspect of this movie. It is filled with sexist, homophobic, racist comments that I assume were meant to be comical but are in no way amusing. Instead, they are disgusting to hear. I wanted to wash out my ears every time someone opened their mouth. Incessant dick and fart jokes that not even a 12-year-old would laugh at. It does nothing to make the characters or this movie appealing. It only seems to do more damage. A manager ripping off his clientele and guests, I can understand that, but watching him care more about how much money he is getting from his star guest than the fact his 50 to 60-year-old guest is making perverted passes at 15-year-olds and the fact this scene is meant to be amusing, I find gross. I have seen some rather dumb heist movies, many of them intentionally stupid, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back being one of them. It's utterly ridiculous, but it's quite entertaining. This is not entertaining. It is a heist movie that takes place at a con. It had twists that are underwhelming and make zero sense, and the catalyst for our characters going down this path is an absolute reach. The opening of the movie tells us this is based on a true story, and if that is the case, I ask myself, who would admit to this story? Who would ever want to be associated with these events? If it was me and any of this was true, I would never be able to live with the shame. The movie even features momentary narration and audio from a couple of podcasters, and these are not high quality or good content podcasters. These are the two guys living in their mum's basement talking to the internet pretending they have friends. Their intro and everything about them is annoying in every way. They do not linger in the scenes for very long, but when they reappear you instantly go, oh no, not these guys again. The movie ends suggesting that our convention guests continue to go to conventions to steal and tear down the divas of the conventions, which sounds like an absolute waste of time. Not to mention, this movie makes conventions look cheap and unwelcoming, which from experience I have found is not the case. Every character in this movie comes off as depressed and pathetic. Not a single one has any appeal or redeeming qualities, nor do they have any relatability. This concept could have been turned into something amusing, and they could have made the characters appealing and relatable. I could tell from the brief background they gave one character that they did try a little bit, but they didn't push it the way they needed to. What made the whole thing worse was seeing John Malkovich perform in this movie. To see an actor of his caliber in this was painful. While he was the only good thing about it, even he couldn't make this movie worth the watch. I can't fathom why he agreed to this script. This script wouldn't even be good enough as a doorstopper. I know it sounds harsh, but honestly, from the posters alone, this looks like it's a high-energy, fun, action-packed movie, but instead, all we get is this dirge of a film. Many scenes depict our characters getting stoned. Well, I'm assuming both they and the writers were stoned during the making of this movie, because that's exactly how this comes off. I thought this would be fun. I was sorely mistaken. We even have a random, what I suppose you could call, musical number, which was poorly placed and once again did nothing to enhance this already very low quality movie. While I can't in good conscience recommend it, if you happen to watch this and enjoy it, then I envy you, because I wish I could have enjoyed something about this. Have you seen this movie? Have you even heard of this movie? Comment down below and share your thoughts on it. I would love to hear what other people have to say about this movie. That's it for today, so until next time, bye.
Fuck, 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 motherfuck, motherfuck, noise. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, noise, smoking weed, doing coke, drinking beers, rolling fatties, smoking blunts. Who smokes the blunts? We smoke the blunts, rolling blunts.